Good morning and welcome to Morning Pulse on Active Citizens. My name is Sharon Enemchuku and today we'll be having the conversation with a former Orjji and Mr. Daniel Sacramento live in the studio with us. Good morning. How are you all doing this morning? Good morning, sir. Good morning, Ifoma. And also joining us via Zoom, we have our analyst in person of Mr. Oladimiji Oluwafemi. Good morning and welcome to the show.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning in the studio. How are you guys this morning?
We're very well. We're very well. Thank you.
And good morning to Nigeria.
Of course. So we're going straight to the stories that we have for today. An unusual scene unfolded on Monday at Abuja, the National Assembly complex in Abuja, as protesters were spotted carrying mattresses, pillows during a demonstration over the Electoral Act amendment. Now, we also move over to another story. We're going to treat Oluremi Tinubu. She has stated that U.S. airstrike in Nigeria is a blessing. And finally, on IPOB sit at home, we're hearing that allegedly Kanu has given directives to end Monday sit at home. But we'll have to start first with the scene in Abuja concerning the Electoral Act amendment, the protest that has been ongoing. It would be nice to recall to the viewers that yesterday we heard that the Senate was going to have an emergency plenary today, being Tuesday. So we'll keep you guys updated as to what exactly comes out from that particular meeting. But we'll take a look at some videos that have been trending on social media regarding the protests going on in Abuja. We'll have a look at some videos and then we'll return to the studio.
We must save democracy. We must save democracy in Nigeria. Agbábíọ́lá Nigeria go. Agbábíọ́lá Nigeria go. Agbábíọ́lá Nigeria go. My vote. Your vote. Our vote. Every vote. Every vote. Every vote. And the vote. No rigging. No rigging. My vote. Your vote. Our vote. No rigging.
En favor, Akpabio, Mrs.
We must save democracy.
You understand? Akpabio is not. See, Akpabio did that office today. No, we put up for that office. So now I know I take man over, go there. That National Assembly when in they occupy. Now our money, taxpayers' money, they take build them. We know ask them say they give us the money they don't thief. We know tell Akpabio say refund the money where you use to pay your children's school fees for abroad. We know tell Akpabio say the money where you embezzle for the Akwa Ibom stadium where you say you build. We know that you may refund the money.
We just saw that video and I'm sure everybody can see it, or you might have even seen it before now. It is the video of Randy Peters, Mama P and some other protesters protesting on the ground, shouting that our votes must count. And I would like to start with you, Mr. Oladimiji. I'm sure we touched on this yesterday during the conversation, but let me get your take. It seems this is getting serious. And even yesterday in the evening, we talked about the fact that Mr. Peter B joined them on ground. We saw Aisha Yusufu as well protesting against the electoral reform. So let me get your takes there.
Yeah, thank you, Sharon, for that question. First, let me establish that those are my colleagues gathered there at the National Assembly Complex K, and I am itching already to join them as an activist myself. Yeah, because it's not a one-off, Sharon, if you are thinking, and if Nigerians are thinking that it's a one-off, I want them to rethink again, because I can promise them that up until the time that the National Assembly will be sitting, will be resuming, because I'm sure they will be resuming plenaries tomorrow, Wednesday. They have this emergency plenary sitting that they have sent out memo for. So
it's for today. I think it's for today, Mr. Oladimiji. The emergency plenary is for
today. The date.
Yeah, it's today.
Yeah, today. Thank you very much. I didn't think the date correctly. Thank you. So,
no problem.
Even beyond today, the protest will continue to swell because this is, like my colleague would say, this is the middle finger to the Nigerian people that, look, we want to rig and we're going to do this to rig. And there's nothing you can do about it. So if Nigerians do not, repel this rejection, I think it's as well as losing the battle before it even began at all. For them.
All right, Mr. Oladimeji, still on the protest and the emergency plenary that will be held today. We're going to take a look at more videos from the complex in Abuja, and then we'll come back for a full conversation. Let's have a look.
Without fear and favor, Mrs. Akpabio is a man. You understand? Akpabio is not. See, Akpabio did that office today. No, we put up for that office. So now I know I take man over, go there. That National Assembly when in the occupy. Now our money, taxpayers' money, they take build them. We know ask them say they give us the money they don't thief. We don't tell Akpabio say refund the money where you use to pay your children's school fees for abroad. We not tell Akpabio say the money where you embezzle for the Akwa Ibom stadium where you say you build. We not tell you may refund the money. Wait till they ask Akpabio. Share APC when in they represent, when in be member of their party, then get over 31 governors. We not supposed they relax, give us free and fair election. You know pass like that. But the shameless people go the whole Abuja, go see Tinubu poster full everywhere like Ebola. The Tinubu poster just there everywhere like a shower when they find hook up. But still they fear, they mobilize everywhere, mobilize Obi Kubana, mobilize E-Money, mobilize this one, coordinator this one, coordinator that one. Are you people not ashamed of yourself? City useless boys movement. Tout city movement. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, I want to tell you this. I don't fear anything. I'm not afraid of death. I'm not afraid of being arrested. Arrest now water, tear gas now water.
Tension still seems to be very high at the protest ground in Abuja concerning electoral reforms. Nigerians are not playing. But as we continue the conversation, I have a question, Ifoma. With all of these protests that we're seeing people involving themselves. We even heard Mr. Oladimeji say that he would love to be there himself during this protest to join his comrades and his colleagues on the ground. And for many Nigerians, do you think that might be what they're thinking? Do you think the videos we're seeing would encourage more participation in this protest if after the emergency hearing it doesn't turn out well?
Definitely. This has been long time coming. This is something that Nigerians have been waiting for a very long time. It may seem as though Nigerians have been sleeping, and some people will say it's once they reduce money from my account because of the tax something, that is when you're going to see Nigeria en masse. But right now we're seeing that Nigerians over the years have been disgruntled because of the bad leadership we have in the land. So it is high time we change it, and we need to change it before 2027 election, and the time is now. And then talking about this whole protest that is going on and what is going on in the National Assembly. When we were little, even now, we sing national anthem, and then we pray, we sing the pledge, which is a pledge to Nigeria, my country, to be faithful and to be loyal and honest. Now I ask, Akpabio has sang this particular anthem all the days of his life. Why is it that after, giving this oath or pledging to Nigeria that he's going to stand by free and fair election, he's going to be faithful in everything, all his endeavors, why is it that the time that Nigerians need him to be faithful, we found him wanting, or rather he is not faithful to Nigerians? And where do I even start from with this whole electronic transmission and electronic transfer? In 2023, that we had election. After the election, Mr. Peter Obi, a lot of Nigerians felt disgruntled by the result of the election, and Mr. Peter Obi went to court. And after submitting his evidence in court, which was part of it was the transfer of results in IREV, and what the court said was that it was not enough, that result he had there was more like it needs to add to collaborate with other hard evidence is that that particular result now that we have with IREV from IREV portal is not enough for them to have a case. And what we are looking for now, this 2027 or this 2026, is for that transmission of result to be mandatory. That what's it called, the results that will be uploaded to IREV to be an evidence. If you're going to court, if you feel disgruntled, when you go to IREV, you get your data, go to court, and it will stand as a hard evidence. And it is not hard. We have a lot of countries, just like I said yesterday, that practice this particular what's it called, voting process. It's not hard for Nigerians to do. If you say that we don't have a network in some areas, which I know that is a very big lie. We have Starlink that you can work on. Not just that, we have bandits that are using this Starlink. Why not collaborate with bandits and get networks, get Starlink to those things to deliver free and credible election? It's not a hard thing to do.
All right, now thank you for that. Before I come to you, Mr. Daniel Sacramento, we'll take a look at a video that has been circulating online. This happened in the Senate House during when this prayer was held and called for, and we saw some senators in support and some not in support. Let's take a quick look at that video.
There are no coverage in my village. I vote no. My name is Enyinaya Baribe, and I vote yes to Nigeria, yes to electronic voting. I hereby vote no.
Mr. President, I stand on the side of the people, of Nigerians. I vote yes.
In support of electronic transfer, electronic transmission of results, I vote no.
I stand for the commission may transmit results of election by electronic means.
I support the transfer of results through electronic process by INEC.
I stand to say yes for electronic transmission of election results.
Mr. President, I vote no.
Mr. President, I vote yes.
Okay, thank you.
To electronic transmission of results. I vote capital no on the electronic transmission of voting.
Mr. President and my dear colleagues, I vote yes to electronic transfer of results and electronic voting. And
on behalf of the very rural and network deprived people of Niger North, I say a very big and capital underline no.
What we have passed, and I can recollect this vividly, because I read that act when it was a bill several times, is to transfer, after all the paperwork that we normally do are done, the agents and everybody there, security, everybody will have the papers. INEC will snap or scan or snap the result sheet and transmit or transfer or whatever it is. And for me, my understanding is, if any result that was captured and sent differs from something gotten somewhere, that one is illegal.
We're seeing that video where we're seeing the senators talking and trying to agree on this same electronic transmission and transfer under Buhari's regime, and it seems as though the majority of the Senate have not changed their stance on whether it's transfer or transmission. But let me get your take, Mr. Daniel Sacramento.
Okay, it's quite unfortunate where we found ourselves in this country, where I keep telling you people that part of the problem we're facing in Nigeria is caused by the legislature, the judiciary. When we get these two houses in order, the executive will sit up. But you could see that they are the ones that are giving out the impetus of the executive to, to do anything that they desire to do. Be it as it may, Akpabio, they have no reason not to pass the bill that all voting should be televised and also passed through,
Transmitted.
be transmitted live, it is because they do not believe in the electoral system. It is because they have skeleton in their cupboard. It is because they believe in rigging the elections of so many of them who have no business in politics. So many of them that are in the house should be in the prison. That is the truth. So that is why they are trying to suppress. I listened to Akpabi where he was saying there are 9 states that have been infiltrated with banditry and terrorism, and thereby, and now said, how can 9 states make 9 states? Can 9 states stop election for being transmitted? So he's found out that he has no reasonable argument concerning why they should not transmit it. So I give kudos to people that are standing there in Abuja trying to let the House know this must not happen. The rigging that happened in 2023 must not be seen in 2027. And since they have left the right thing and they want all of us to put our heads into election, the citizens are now ready for them. That is what it means. That's why you are saying the protest. Do the right thing. You don't make people look stupid. We can't leave everything we are doing going to vote for whom we want, and you truncate it just because you think you have the powers to do it. So I don't see why, if they're talking about transparency, if you're a debating electoral process, passing other bills, and that particular one is a simple matter, and they're trying to tell us what the party APC stands for. That's exactly what they're trying to tell us. Because you can't come to that and you're telling us that you cannot transmit people's vote, for crying out loud. It shouldn't be hard. This is a country, the administration of Bola Ahmed Tinubu is doing everything possible to have a new face internationally and every other places. And you are now trying to truncate the will of the people. So it shows that there is no integrity in the electoral process. It shows there is no independency. And that's what it means. It shows that the agenda of the APC people, because Ababio represents APC, it shows that the agenda is that they must win by at all costs. That's what it means.
Mr. Oladimeji, I like that you said that. You also mentioned there's something that we've also been seeing, Mr. Oladimeji, the fact that people are saying, oh, we thought that with 31 governors in the APC that they would relax and just wait for free and fair elections, since they already have governors, they have coordinators in different states, but that doesn't seem to be the case. Now, another thing that I'm going to ask, just so that we get an understanding, there's a video that I saw Senator Akpabio coming out to say the reason why this bill will not be passed was because it was the same bill that gave the opposition the upper hand, and the electronic transmission, and how the opposition won in some regions, won in some states, even in the south, and southwest. And my question really is, there are different questions, but the 2 questions I have is he, as a Senate president, supposed to outrightly come out and show that he is not neutral, he's playing partisan politics? And also, what do you make of that statement saying that the reason why the opposition won was as a result of that electoral bill?
Thank you very much, Sharon. Look, every day when we look into our socio-political issues as a nation, and we see how much we have dug ourselves into the hollow, and you go to sleep, the next day you're waking up realizing that there is another hollow deeper than the one you thought about yesterday before you went to bed. I mean, I don't know if you caught this interview with one of these politicians, also a National Assembly member, I think, or he's an APC guy, on Arise Television. And China's Television, he was with Seun Okinbaloye. And Seun Okinbaloye was trying to inquire from him. I'm trying to relate to you so that you understand what, embodying their shenanigans and impunities. All right?
Yeah.
Seun was asking this politician that, excuse me, do you think that when President Tinubu promised all right, that if he wouldn't give Nigerians power, they shouldn't vote him a second time. The guy said, no. He gave power. Electricity is not the only kind of energy.
Wow.
Electricity is not the only kind.
Enabling Nigerians to get solar. And he said that since he's been using solar, he's been saving. And someone went forward to ask that is solar provided by government? The guy said, no, the government is giving grants and enabling Nigerians to get it.
Wow. I need to see that video.
So you can now understand. Yeah, so you can now understand listening and watching Akpabio say these things. Of course, he is not saying it because he is not aware that there is stupidity in what he said. He is saying it because that is what he must say, because he must appear politically correct. And it is under political expediency for him to say that, to defend his political party. But unfortunately, this Nigerian set of politicians, National Assembly members that we have, currently this crop we have, are the most moribund and worst. Continue to emphasize, because they are completely abandoned their primary responsibilities, which are overshadowed and making laws that interfaces with the reality of the Nigerian people.
Oh wow, Mr. Oladimi.
What we have to do with these people is coming up to completely political all of the time when they are expected to attend to governance. It's unfortunate, but that is where we find ourselves.
All right.
I even want to ask, or add as well. INEC gave them what is in the Electoral Act for them to peruse and, and make it work so that it becomes a law. And they are scrutinizing got to transmission. It shows how myopic and how they've already planned to rig election. Because they were all going through it, perusing until they got to that paragraph and particular act.
Excuse me, sorry. Comrade.
Yes.
If I don't know if you listen to one of them. If this machine can work in most remote places in the communities.
A comedian made a jest. He said, if bandits could even be posting their videos, so how from the inside the bushes, how can the INEC not transmit their own voting live even when bandits can even televising what they are doing?
Yeah, I'm going live.
You see, the truth about is this: Akpabio and his cohorts has really turned the legislature into a laughing stock, and they are making mockery of Nigerian citizens. And this is how revolution starts. You can't take people for granted. You can't take people for a ride just because you are in the seat of power. Allow the will of people to work. This is why we keep saying. Remember that since 2025 that they started all this their madness of election. As we speak today, we don't have steady power supply.
Yeah.
Businesses are going. And the president, yes, let me say the president is trying to fix, give Nigeria a better face internationally. But high time he comes back home and sit down to arrange his home properly. Is Nigeria about APC or about the citizenry of Nigeria? Because these are the things we must get straight.
You said international image, and just because I'm working with time, I would like us to take a video of Oluremi Tinubu still talking about global image and the global image that she has even gotten for herself after being recognized by the US President Donald Trump. We'll take a look at that video and come back to the studio.
Happening, at times, who would have, you said President Trump recognized me. Who would have thought that would happen, to even say the least? So when you look at that, you know, I'm getting global recognition in all of it, you know, despite, and that is what life is all about. If something is going to be good, it will come from, you know, the rebels, you know, and it starts like that. And then we have that attention, we have the conversation going, and we expect, you know, there will be more, you know, it's going to yield a better fruit for us, and both for us and also America.
President Trump had words of praise for you this morning, but there are still some U.S. lawmakers that believe that there is a, as they call it, Christian genocide going on in Nigeria, and they've been critical of the government for not doing enough. What do you say to that argument? What do you tell them?
You know, we've been able to educate them more about the situation on ground. We live in Nigeria. We know that, you know, this is a democracy, and we are getting close to re-election, and there will be a lot of potholes of the beliefs they want the outside world to know. And we can see that with this government, we just out of a lot of economic crisis that we inherited, because this is the first time the government of Nigeria will remove fuel subsidy. We were producing oil, but we were not refining them. So now Nigeria, we have refined products, and we're not importing fuel like before. So our exchange rates are stabilizing. The country is moving forward. We're trying to make sure that insecurity we can tackle. And the president has even changed the service chiefs. You know, they've replaced them with new ones. So we're looking at reforms. In November, because of what is going on and the world concern about Nigerian Christians, the government, my husband declared a state of emergency on the 26th November 2026, and on insecurity. And by that, what did he do? He had to ask the police inspector general to recruit additional 50,000 police officers, and then the soldiers 24,000 officers, so that they can help him, you know, to secure insecurity. And not only that, there are 10,000 forest guards that were not carrying arms before. It said they should be armed so that they can secure the forest where all those terrorist groups, you know, take hiding, and so that, you know, and also the bandits and people that are, you know, killing for ransom or asking people, kidnapping for ransom rather. So those are the target. And also not only that, 11,566 police officers that were under VIP assignments have been recalled, so that, and they've been sent to all the hotspot areas in Nigeria, like Plateau State, Benue State, Taraba, and also other communities that they felt that they needed. So, and that's what, you know, has been happening. So we hear what the world is saying. We are concerned about our people's safety. Nigeria is a country that, you know, encourages freedom of religion, and which is entrenched in our constitution. And we're
Saw that video from First Lady Oluremi Tinubu. This was what she granted to the interview she granted to Fox Night after the viral introduction from President Donald Trump, and he mentioned some key things in that video, saying that she's getting global recognition. And when asked about insecurity and the fact that Nigeria, the US has accused the Nigeria government of being complacent in how they've handled security issues thus far, she went on to answer, citing different economic challenges. But I would like you to tie it to what is going on in Nigeria with the electoral reforms. You know, we see the international bodies and international organizations, the US and the rest of them, paying close attention. What does this look like? You know, what do you think this would look like from the outside, for those who are watching from the outside with this type of reforms? Is this still going to give us that global recognition the First Lady is trying to talk about?
It's looking like an insult to Nigerians. They insult in Nigerian what's it called, intelligence, both in the country and outside the country. Now, as a foreigner, if I listen to what is happening here, and I have a friend down here in Nigeria, or rather I am on socials and I see all these things, I'll be like, this woman actually take Nigerians for a fool. Seriously. Because let me start with where she was saying that dollar is stabilized. From where to where? in Buhari's administration, we had dollar, it was around 600, 700 to 800. But immediately Tinubu entered, we started hearing 1,000, 1,000 something, even up to 2,000 naira. And now I'm hearing that dollar is around 1,415 right now. And she's saying that is stability. Is that stability? That is because we have normalized anomaly in the country. That's why we can literally take anything. If a bag of rice that was once 20,000 naira or 14,000 naira reduces now, currently maybe it's around 150,000 naira, you reduce it by 10,000 naira, how will say everything has reduced, everything has stabilized? That's because in our consciousness the economy is moving. We are now kind of
used to the abnormality.
Yes, abnormalities, and we're not taking it as something that is normal and we'll clap for the government. It's quite sad. And then moving on to where she said that the reforms, a lot of reforms, the economy is stable, blah blah blah. She talked about the service chiefs that have been redeployed and being posted to hot
zones
in Nigeria. And we are still yet to hear that things about concerning insecurity has reduced drastically. Now, as at yesterday or 2 days ago, we had attack in Kaduna State. Now the Kaduna people have already started protesting because this attack happened midnight, where 7 people were abducted. A lot of places were burnt down. Should I talk about Kwara incident? Should I talk about Katsina? Should I talk about KB? Should I talk about Papiri? Where would I start from? That she will go out there to talk about things that Nigerians really know, and I say it's really an insult to Nigerians. And I'm really glad that one of US radio presenters kind of turned down her request because he said that she was trying to undermine or downplay the genocide or the way Christians were treated in Nigeria. And that is another TV station or a radio station that has given her platforms to come and talk and downplay the evil and malpractices that are going on in Nigeria. Now, coming back to electoral malpractice, this is not hard. It is not hard. I keep saying it. It is not rocket science. All Nigerians want is free, fair, credible, transparent election. What is hard in that thing? Pass the bill. You are not God. The Senate president has been there. Other people has been there before he came into seat. Why is it that he's acting like the beginner and the end? God is the beginner and the end of the world. He created the universe even when anything was created. So this man should not be acting like he's the author and finisher of Nigerian's fate. He should stop it. Pass that bill. Section what of the 1999 the Electoral Act? It should be section 6 and 5 of the Electoral Act. He should pass it into bill and into law. That's what Nigerians want. It should be fair, credible, and transparent.
All right, and thank you for that take, Ifoma. Now, moving to you, Mr. Oladimeji, we've taken a look at that video. We're tying it with the international representation that we have concerning our democracy, which is something the First Lady also mentioned in that video, saying that Nigeria is a democratic state. Let me get your take, sir.
Yes, Sharon. Technically speaking, she's right. We are a democratic state because we run a democratic system on paper. But if I have to speak in truth and in fact and not sound politically correct, then I can boldly say to Nigerians that we do not run a democratic state. A democratic state is the one with the rule of law very fundamentally respected. That intangible asset of the social space, the rule of law, all right? A democratic state is a country where the judiciary, the legislature, and the executive are not fused together into one.
Yeah.
Standing in a singular
independence. Yeah.
The democratic system is the kind that we teach to our children in school and we describe, the streams of government in separate entities independent of each other and serving as watchdog and oversight of each other, so that one of all do not, effectively use their power.
Yes.
But in our own democratic settings, those in government can abuse the law, but those that are being governed are the ones who have to obey the laws. That is our democracy. Tinubu is defining democracy to be the government of the people, with the people and for the people. All right? And admitting that on paper, there's no problem. But Madam Tinubu should speak to the reality on ground that we're not a democracy. But I'm not sure she's capable of doing that at the moment because of political experiences she wouldn't. All right?
Yeah.
So, Sharon, if I need to speak as a Nigerian, then with all that I have, with my experience with regards to infringement on my right, either with my experiences with police, my encounter with police, or some other law enforcement agencies, or at some government offices, where I'm being treated unfairly by government officials, then I would say that with my rights being disregarded and with abuse on my person, then I am not seeing a democracy.
All right, we're not seeing a democracy. Mr. Daniel, let me get your take now.
Well, like I said yesterday, there is no leader that will go out and wash their dirty linen outside.
True.
We always want to paint the administration rightly before everybody. Now, you might have good intention, but you have bad people surrounded you. That good intention is as good as dead. Yeah, so the wife of the president spoke well. He has to defend. There's no woman that will come on board and not defend their husband.
True.
Good. Their husband might have good intentions, but the way he goes about it doesn't really suit the people of the country. At least a very large chunk of the citizens are not feeling the impact of the reforms. So it boils down to sit down to check what they are not doing right. Take, for instance, this controversy of the transmission of elections. I mean, he should have died 2 days ago if the husband is around or to witness this. He should have died. They would have. She has been doing well in her own aspect, in as much as she's not the one sworn in as the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. But with her renewed hope initiative for girls, women, and all this stuff, we give her kudos to that. But if she's speaking holistically, stability of dollar or economy, you should go around. There should be a paper you should share around to find out how the citizenry of your stability is the survey.
Are you sure they would want to do that?
No, because that's how you get the feedback.
They don't want
find out. You look at the rural. You look at the rural. You speak with fact. You look at the rural. You look at the importations. You look at the productions of the country.
Yeah.
Of what? Where did you meet it, and where is it now? So these are the yardstick you use. So that's all the argument I'm trying to tell you. That somebody said that the economy is now stable in their own terms. Good. We agree. But where? How has it affected? Because when you want to talk about stability, stability shouldn't be a one-way traffic thing.
No.
It should cut across. Not that people who are moving around with police and everything, with escort.
We'll say there's stability.
They say there is stability.
The one selling pepper,
there's no stability. So it's not synchronizing. It has to be a very uniform thing. When Goodluck Jonathan was there, we bought a bag of rice 6,500. And it wasn't.
I can barely remember. It's been so.
Listen, it wasn't a magic. It wasn't science rocket. It happened. So every man that moves to the market knows that a bag of rice was 6,500.
Yeah.
Later it went to 11,000 as of 2014. So it was there. You buy a basket of tomato 2,500. It was not science rocket. So when somebody said during that time, the economy of Nigeria was declared, the GDP and the economy was declared perfect. It cuts across to even the common man. So that is when you talk about stability.
Yes.
And importation of car. How much was cars as of that point in time during Goodluck Jonathan? You buy cars of 500,000 naira. You buy cars of 400,000 naira. That is stability. Because it comes across to the common man. Now those cars you bought 500,000 naira is 4.5 million now. Keke as cheap as Keke is 4 million naira as we speak today. So you could, so when you were bringing up a lot of yardstick, you need to look at it holistically before you speak. So from the eye she is saying it, yes, because we definitely in every society you will have the rich and the poor. So she is looking from the rich man's angle. So that's why I don't want to argue or say no, what she's saying no. But look at it holistically. Nigeria is about 200 and something million people. How many, what is the percentage of people that eat 3 square meal in a day? What is the percentage of people who their children are in school? What is the percentage of employment that you will use to, you know, to prescribe? What is the level, the percentage of importation and productions? So these are the things you look at, and you now say yes. Of a truth, you now beat your chest and say, my administration has really has brought instability to sectors. Light is nowhere to be found, which would have helped in production to bring in the stability. So there is no light as it stands today. Ever since this administration started, national grid has collapsed. In fact, it's in comatose as we speak now. It's in life support machine. So when you're saying some certain things, you need to define it properly, so that even a common man, he will say, yes, so this aspect has really touched me. And so I wouldn't want to drag her so much, because of the truth, nobody will say the soup way mama cook no sweet. And I still do not hold her against her, because you can't go into the international community and paint your country back. That is the truth.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Daniel Sacramento, and of course, Mr. Oladimiji Oluwafemi and Ifeoma Orjji for joining us on the conversation today. The conversation is can still continue in the comment section. If you have your opinion, your thoughts, we see your comments, and we want you to continue doing that. Do well to share this video, like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't done that already, and also follow us across all social media at Active Citizens. You can find me as well across all media at Sharon NM Chuku and Ifeoma.
You can find me in the studio for the rest of today.
Okay. And for Mr. Oladimiji.
Yeah, if you're looking for me, just come on there. All
right. If you're looking for Mr. Daniel Sacramento, you'd have to come over to the studio. Till we see you later today. Do have a good morning.